Hey, it's Dominic D'Angelo. It's a Wednesday. You know what that means. It's Rumor and Innuendo. I'm of adfreeshows.com, scoops.com, and brassringmedia.com. Head to that. But I'm here today with Mr. Robert Karplis, WWE creative _ish. Robert, happy Wednesday to you. I know you're always excited for a Wednesday, right?
Just do it.
All right. All right. So excited. I'm excited. Robert. Yeah. Yeah.
There was no reason to do that twice. That seems excessive.
You want a third time? I won't do it.
I between this and your Jets hat, it's like you're an affront to humanity, and I'm simply here to witness that front live streaming around the world on our beloved plethora of platforms. And we'll say hi to some of the folks who are joining us here, including E, who says, "Was up?" Just a master of words. Human Tornado with emojis.
Yes. Rock and rolling. Dre Owen says the Dynamite Edition. Hello, R&I. Bring on Double J. Yeah, baby.
Wait, what now?
Bring on Double J.
Is Jeff Jarrett on? I have not read the.
I don't know. He isn't. They haven't.
I'm like, did they bring back Jarrett? Remember when Jeff Jarrett was on a retirement tour? Yeah, and they were making a big deal of it, and it ended in everyone coming to their senses.
Man, what a follow-up. It's been quite the follow-up. Hey, Wrestling Old Head, welcome you back, Robert. Welcome back, Mr. Karplis.
Welcome back, Wrestling Old Head. Nice to see you, sir.
Were you a fan of Welcome Back, Cotter, Robert?
I was a fan of Welcome Back, Cotter. It was a tremendous show.
I've actually never seen an episode.
Never watched an episode of Welcome Back, Cotter?
Never have watched an episode.
The hell were you doing with Nick at Night?
I was a Happy Days guy. Happy Days. I Dream a Genie. Bewitched. Those were my wheelhouse. Nick at Nighters. Andy Griffith too.
So what I did enjoy when I went to go see Glengarry Glen Ross was 2 rows behind me, Mr. Henry Winkler.
Really?
Yeah. 1 row behind me, Diedrich Bader.
Oh my gosh.
That is my level of celebrity that I'm going to be dealing with there.
Did you know I interviewed Henry Winkler?
Did he think it was a Make-A-Wish? Why were you interviewing Henry Winkler?
He was in a pro wrestling movie, the one and only, in 1978, Carl Reiner. RJ City put that bug in my ear. I watched the movie, and I was like, I wonder if I can try to interview Henry Winkler about that movie. And sure enough, I got a hold of his attorney, believe it or not. She directed me to Henry, and we set up an interview. It was great.
I'm sure he was like the nicest guy, wasn't he?
He's such a nice guy. It's unbelievable.
Where does this interview live? I kind of want to listen to this.
Yeah, it's on WrestleZone. I'll send you the link. I'll share the link with you.
Okay, yeah. And I didn't know you and RJ City were pals.
Yeah, me and RJ City. Yeah, first StarCast, I was interacting with him, and I spilled his tea on his autographs. So
this wasn't a hype. This was a literal tea spilling.
This was literally a literal tea spilling. Yeah,
like the Snickers commercial.
Right. That's it. So yeah, so he let me know about that movie, and that's how it all got started. So check it out if you haven't. Roddy Piper's in it. Chavo Guerrero is in the movie. They both make little cameos in there, so it's a fun movie. So, and the little guy from Fantasy Island's in it too. I don't know his name. So, fun movie. All right. Hey, we're gonna have some fun here today because we're talking Dynamite. And Robert, my goodness, did you know Kota Ibushi is back?
Kota Ibushi's back?
He's back. He came back on Collision. Do you know that show?
No.
Oh, how couldn't you?
That's usually the one with that has the little guy, Hervé Villechaize.
Yes, exactly.
Wait, not Hervé Villechaize. Sorry, Adam Cole.
Oh,
Adam Cole, right. the little tiny guy who is like the TNT title.
The plane.
No, that was the joke, Dom. I'm begging. I'm absolutely begging.
Hey, I wanted to fill our listeners in. That's all. But yes, Kota Ibushi is back, and guess who he is facing, Robert?
I don't know who he returned against. It made such big. Well, someone says, "Wait, Kota Ibushi is back and isn't saving Kenny Omega." How did he return?
I have no idea. Did it happen? If it happened on Collision?
Best reporting in the business. So he's back. Kenny Omega is feuding with Okada, and Kota Ibushi is his best friend. So I'm gonna imagine he's probably going after Okada.
No. He's going after Trent Beretta.
Trent?
Yes. Do you remember him?
I do remember Trent.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't know, because he looks like Jay White now. I have no idea. He's got a long beard. He's with Rocky Romero.
Aren't they tangentially part of the Don Callis family?
I think. Isn't everyone indirectly part of the Don Callis family at some form or another? It feels like. Look, this is the issue here. Dynamite. We don't get context of any of this. So we're just going to go in blind on Wednesday. And I'm speaking from a casual fan standpoint. And you don't have any idea why Kota Ibushi's back. Zero clue.
And
he did help.
Well, I'm sure they will explain it in great detail.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait for that. So Kota Ibushi is back to help Kenny Omega take on Kazuchika Okada. I don't know how he's going to be back to help take on Kazuchika Okada, but he's back, Robert. And he hasn't wrestled in a year and a half. That's crazy. It's pretty wild.
Either due to injury or just Tony Khan forgot about him. He was at the bottom of the toy box and he forgot about him.
Maybe a little bit of both, Robert.
That happens sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Hey, do you remember a woman named Athena? Not the Greek goddess.
I do, because you put her in the title of the episode.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad that was a reminder, because she is here and she is going to be in a four-way to determine the number one entrant in the Women's Casino Gauntlet at AEW All In. It's Athena taking on Willow Nightingale, taking on Thunder Rosa, taking on Chris Statlander. So that's another match on tap, Robert. Apparently, Athena and Thunder Rosa might be going up against one another at All In for the ROH Women's Championship, or maybe that's speculation, but it's in the mix, I guess. So,
look, I like the fact that there seems to be that issue with Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale, so we're using it to advance a four-way. Mm-hmm. Athena is someone that they should have been using this whole time, and they've relegated her to the Ring of Honor purgatory, and it's been really unfortunate. So I'm glad that she's back on TV in any form or fashion. There's also a four-way to determine the men's Casino Gauntlet number one entrant, and who are the four people participating in that one, Dom?
Well, it would be Konosuke Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, Bandito, and Roderick Strong.
So Bandito, who is the Ring of Honor World Champion, is competing for the chance to win the number one entrant spot in the Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal,
to eventually determine a world champion contender.
Got it. And Roderick Strong is in there because reasons.
He's a good hand.
I mean, he is. But like Mark Briscoe's a guy I can get behind and understand why you want to put him in this situation. I guess Bandito is the Ring of Honor champion, also wants to be the AEW World Champion. Sure. I like it. Let's go with that. And do they get a shot at the AEW title or the new Super Deluxe title?
Robert, it's the Unified Championship.
The Unified Championship.
Yes, that is the name of the new championship. That Kenny and Okada are going up for. Yeah.
The yawn should have indicated the level of excitement I am for this.
Look, why name something the Unified Championship? It seems like a generic title name.
Well, because you are unifying two titles that also had generic title names, in the International title and the Continental title. And the good news is you don't have to tell the difference between the two of them. But at least there's still the TNT title. And what are they doing with the TNT title on Dynamite?
Nothing. Right?
Nothing. Fantastic. Anything else signed up for Dynamite this evening?
Oh, are you signed up for the Hurt Syndicate? They're going to appear.
Great. It means MJF will be on, and I like MJF, so that's a plus, Dom.
He did trash where they're going to be at. Do you, without looking, unless you already saw it, do you know where they're going to be at, Robert?
Not Arena, Mexico.
Correct. You got that right.
Let's go with Topeka, Kansas.
Close. Not really. Kent, Washington. I didn't know there was a Kent, Washington, but there is one.
Is that why Beretta's competing so that they can do Trent?
Kent? It's at the Excesso Showwear Center.
What is your obsession with the names of these random arenas
I
in
really
the
have
middle
fun
of
knowing getting to know the arena names now.
What takes place at the Kent, Washington? Now I'm curious. The Excesso Showwear Center.
Yeah.
Is the home of the WHL hockey team as well as the soccer team.
Okay.
Yeah, the Seattle Thunderbirds
Caw-caw.
and the Tacoma Stars.
Ooh, okay.
Big time stuff. This is very exciting. As someone who's worked in an arena before, I always find this interesting. Their capacity is 7,141. So if you're that 7,142nd person, you're out of luck.
You know, but that's, I know we're making fun, but it is the smart move for AEW to play these kind of venues.
Oh, this is exactly what they should be doing. 100%. The idea is you want an arena where everyone's packed in on top of each other. You get that energy, you get that vibe. You want the standing room only, that there's not a bad seat in the joint. Obviously, it's going to be scaled down probably to around 5,000 people, but you get 5,000 very vocal, very excited people in Kent. What a city. Yeah. It makes for a better program versus you put it into a building that, let's pick an arena in Sunrise that holds 19,352 people, and you sell 5,000 seats to that. It's going to feel super, super empty.
Wouldn't you want to kind of promote, hey, Swerve's going to be here tonight because he's from the state of Washington?
He is, but is he competing? Is he even going to be on?
I don't know. I would just assume so. Or if he isn't, why wouldn't you put him on there just to get some buzz going there?
The largest employer in Kent, Washington is Amazon with 3,000 people, followed by the Kent Public Schools and then the Boeing Company. So,
oh boy,
a lot of nerds. So hopefully some of them are wrestling nerds.
What do you know? What celebrities are from Kent, Washington, Robert? I just Googled that.
Do I? Kenny Mayne is from there. ESPN great Kenny Mayne.
Earl Anthony, a bowler, is from there.
I do love that. Professional drag racer Jerry the King Ruth. I have gone down a rabbit hole thanks to our friends at Wikipedia, which is always correct. And Demetrius Bronson of the Miami Dolphins.
Wow. Jeff Dye, comedian Jeff Dye, who also dated Becky Lynch before.
Jeff Dye, yes, I was going to say, definitely a wrestling fan and associated with my co-hosts Dan St. Germain and Mike Lawrence.
How about that? He also hosted the panel, an interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, but he didn't get to interview Henry Winkler. So you've got him.
I got him. All right.
Yes.
You know what the sad thing is about the Henry Winkler interview, though? Go ahead.
I was going to say that we're still talking about Kent.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm pivoting. I went to the Steel City Con, the Comic Con that they have in Pittsburgh area, and I have an 8x10 that I literally bought of Henry Winkler from the one and only. And Henry Winkler was going to be there, so I waited in line, got my picture with him, and he signed it. But I could tell he clearly did not remember the interview. But he's very nice, so I was very kind of dejected about that. But nonetheless, I love the Fonz, both Fonzes.
He was great on Barry, and he was great on Arrested Development. He was a great lawyer on Arrested Development.
He's great in anything. I like.
And Wrestling Old Head. This is a spoiler for a 30-year-old movie or 29-year-old movie, but Principal Himbrey's death in Scream was iconic. That it was.
Well, so I told Henry, I was like, I refused to watch Scream when I was a kid because I knew you died in it and I didn't want to see you die.
I also love that it's the reason why in Scary Movie they cast Squiggy.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
That's hilarious. Man, so many
Anyway,
references. Laverne and Shirley, you can't beat that. Michael McKean, back to Glengarry Glen Ross, by the way.
yeah, see, it's come
Full circle.
totally full circle. Now I have to
I'm
check and
pretty
make sure.
just like the live button. What?
Yeah, because you forgot to push the live button the other day.
I did, but
You
why?
literally forgot your own anecdote, Dom. Dom, is there anyone who has more interesting anecdotes than you? Maybe someone you can't see.
Oh yes, John Cena.
There we go. Show's back on track, guys.
Yes,
Happy
Cena
Wednesday.
happened to be a special guest on Stephen Colbert, whatever the name is. Was it the Late Show? It's the Late Show now with him, right? Anywho, he said he talked about his heel run, and he said it's been pretty incredible. I think we're getting now to the point where the audiences understand I'm done in December and professional wrestling in retirement. Really, there's no realism there, but I will absolutely be done in December. So I think it was kind of a thing where people don't understand what was going on, but now we're halfway through it. Audiences are in a really good live experience because every audience is different. Some of them like me, some of them hate me, but they're very vocal. And I think now we're getting down to the end. And then Cena also had another interview with Collider, and he actually added a little aspect about being heel and what it kind of means in WWE at this juncture. He says there's no adaptable form of storytelling than WWE. WWE can change a story as it happens live. You're seeing it so far over the farewell tour dates. The 18 of 36 so far, we've made a ton of pivots right there in the moment. As we get close to the end of this thing, what dictates those pivots is the audience. And I think the audience will begin to feel differently because now we are truly coming to an end. So if you ever have a voice to use, if you ever want to say something, I hate to steal my own cliche, but the time is now. So Cena speaks that it is the audience that might dictate the end of his John Cena farewell tour. What do you think of those comments? Do you think this heel run does have potential to still be something really, really memorable, or are you already in that camp? And on top of it, do you see the audience making that pivot for Cena, or is just Cena kind of playing to that audience?
So I think that the narrative that the heel turn itself has not been interesting, I don't agree with. I think there's been a couple of interesting promos, a couple of interesting moments with John Cena. I think the problem has been the in-ring work.
Oh,
His in-ring matches since he's turned heel, at WrestleMania against Cody Rhodes, his match with Randy Orton, the tag team match that he was a part of, his two matches with Ron Killings, have been slow. They've been disjointed. They've been overall bad. And I know he's trying to cover it up with the "I'm trying to ruin wrestling." It doesn't feel like that. It feels like a guy who's just wrestling afraid to get hurt, which anyone will tell you is a quick way to get hurt. If
right.
you're wrestling overly protective, you are going to wind up potentially injuring yourself. So that, I think, is the element of this that's been the most lackluster. I think some of his promos have been captivating. I think some of his moments, some of the stuff he did with Logan Paul, I really enjoyed. Um, we talked about the pipe bomb and my kind of conflicting thoughts on it, but I think he's putting together what this should look like. This was something that was a fast moving rock. Take that quote for however you will.
Mhm.
And he's just trying to keep up with it. So I think if this was more well laid out and more planned, it could have been better. It's a way to flip things on its head and basically say, we're going to give you the John Cena Randy Orton program, but with John as a heel and Randy as a face. We're going to give you the John Cena CM Punk program, but with their roles reversed, as John being the anti-establishment guy who's going to be leaving, and CM Punk the guy who's trying to protect and save wrestling. It's John working with the evil outside celebrity instead of him facing Kevin Federline. There's a lot, which I was at that match at the American Airlines Arena in Miami.
Historic.
Federline, good dude. Shame he wasn't really a celebrity. All that to say, yeah, let's see what the to steal the title of WrestleMania 15. Let's see what the raging climax of this one's going to be, because it does kind of feel like we're getting to Cody versus Cena at SummerSlam, in which case Cody can regain his title and all can be right with the world in time for Roman to return, or there is that temptation for John to somehow overcome Cody at SummerSlam, and then it's Roman Reigns who winds up slaying this beast.
At this juncture, who do you think is the ultimate final opponent for John Cena? Is there
To end
somebody
his
to end his career?
Kurt Angle.
Is that legitimate?
I just, if that's how it started, I think it'd be funny for that to be the way for it to end. He's faced his, or he would have faced his two most iconic people who are still in the company in Randy Orton and CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
I associate those two and Edge as John's kind of three most recognizable opponents.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And he had some underrated great ones. I think the match with him and Shawn at Mania way back when was a hell, and that was a pivot. That was not a planned situation. That was combating injuries and just throwing those guys out there. I think they had a lot of fun. Him and Kevin Owens, when it was the U.S. title, he had some great matches that came out of that. You never know with John who he's going to wind up melding with and working with and getting a great match. I think what he said to Collider was also pretty interesting.
Yeah, I thought so too, and really hinted at some things I think too in a lot of ways. Does The Rock have to be involved at the end for it to pay off? Yeah, I agree.
Makes no sense otherwise.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It's tough because you're planning for whatever The Rock is going to do or say, and unfortunately, creative doesn't really know. They can plan and they can move forward. And as a guy who no longer works at that company says, plans change, pal.
That's it. Plans do change. You better plan for July 29th, though, Robert, because WWE Unreal will be premiering on Netflix. It was announced today. And the episode one, at least, will be 50 minutes. Are you excited for this show, or are you very much against this happening?
I think putting cameras in the writer's room. Here's the problem that I'm going to wind up having with this when I see it is I'll immediately know how staged and fake this is. Did they get B-roll footage that probably is going to look authentic? Absolutely. Is it going to be contrived and terrible and I know what goes on in the real confines? Like, is someone going to speak the way that they normally would on camera? Probably not. Mm-hmm. Were there conversations that occurred in writers' rooms that if those were to air on Netflix, those people would be meeting with human resources and or immediately terminated? Absolutely. So I think that they're gonna find a way to blur the line and make it interesting because some of it is super uninteresting.
I believe
it's guys sitting around a table or guys and gals sitting around a table. We did have Casey, she was there, and obviously Stephanie, saying, "All right, what are we gonna do for this segment? I don't know. What's Vince gonna be least likely to not like? I don't know. What do we want for lunch? Let's get Rinaldi's. Rinaldi's takes too long. Let's get from stage. Stage is expensive. This is 90% of the day.
Just where to eat. That's going to be the first 50 minutes of the whole show.
That is so much of the day. And then figuring out who's going to do the Starbucks run.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Now, I don't agree with Vince Russo 99.9% of the time. But he did happen to make a point I heard where he said, everybody dressed up like a button-up shirt and khakis and all this kind of stuff and going and having a writer's room kind of takes away the laid-back, more creative vibe of an actual writer's room. Do you agree with that assessment, Robert? Do you think it is too buttoned up, too tight-knitted kind of thing, aspect of it all, or is that has nothing to do with maybe creative juices flowing? Not a blue.
Bro, if you're wearing pants, you can't be creative. I said make Midian naked because I was naked. No, based on what you're wearing in terms of being creative. No, I never once thought, man, SmackDown would be such a better show if I was able to wear a hoodie in the writer's room. Did they care? You're still working in a corporate office.
Sure.
You're still a member of a company. Now the fact that you've got people working on Zoom, people work remote, people are used to dressed in a more relaxed atmosphere. I never went to work at Titan Tower wearing a whatchamacallit, like a suit.
Yes.
You went, you wore khakis and a polo.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that challenging? I'm sure now they can dress down even further.
Naked, like we talked about.
Stop. This is why we don't show Dom from the waist down.
That's it. Hey, look, Unreal, it's going to get real when you tune into Netflix on July 29th.
What the hell was that? That their tagline?
No, I just came up with it. So,
oh, that was Dom. Don't quit your day job. What is your day job? Oh, that's right, being the best wrestling producer in the land.
yeah.
If you guys are watching this and you're wondering how can I support more of what Dominic D'Angelo does, Dom, what other shows do you have your finger in? I could have picked a better phrase.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I do One of a Kind with RVD. Go to rvdtv.com. Right now, last night I just went live with Fonzie. Fonzie, who talks about Sabu a little bit more. His thoughts on Taz going to WWE, gives his thoughts on Goldberg. And today there's the Sabu Memorial at the ECW Arena going on, 7 p.m. The doors open. It's free for all fans to attend. Rob Van Dam will be there. Fonzie will be there. Sandman will be there. Todd Gordon. I heard Joel Gertner might be there. Blue Meanie will be there as well. So it'll be a really, really cool event. If you're in the Philadelphia area, be sure to attend it and check it out. Also, if you want more of my content, I do a daily wrestling hotline at brassringmedia.com. Check that stuff out right now. There's plenty of great content on there. Magnum TA and Greg Gagne live there as well. Robert, people are really anticipating the next Working Stiff. Any
Dude,
update on that?
Did you not tell anybody that I was away last week and wasn't doing a Working Stiff? Because I've gotten so many angry messages, tweets, Facebook posts.
Everybody's saying it's the end of the world.
It's like this is really clearly I was in Iowa last week. Scott Chapman and I are syncing up tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. to record this week's episode of Working Stiff. I am actually recording a Patreon for Working Stiff. It's almost done. It's literally sitting on pause on the screen next to me. So Dom, that'll be in your inbox shortly. That'll be for everyone at the $5 tier. That's yes, thank you for putting up 5 fingers. So yeah, new Working Stiff being recorded tomorrow. Myself and Scott Chapman. Our grand reunion is I am not in Iowa, an entire state filled with dial-up internet still. It's all still AOL, and you hear that like shh noise. But if you're one of those folks who doesn't get a chance to watch this in high speed, and you can only listen to this through dial-up, you can catch the audio version of Rumor and Innuendo wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, iTunes, you name it, it's there, it's up and running. But you can always catch us live every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern on a plethora of platforms, including the WW Creative _ish X account, the at Dominic D'Angelo X account, the at SE Scoops X account, and on YouTube on ad-free shows and Rumor and Innuendo. So on behalf of a man who I hope and pray is wearing pants, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpelis. Best of luck in your future endeavors, bro.
Hey, bro, take my strong hand.